Hey, welcome to The Verse. This is V, and I wanted to touch base with you regarding the double surge technique. This is a technique that you're going to use to break large rocks that you wouldn't normally be able to break with a prospector and a lancet. So as you see here, this is a 6200 mass rock, and I have begun putting some charge level into it with the laser intensity, and we're not getting very far. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to put a surge into it, and right now you can see I put a surge into it, and I have the charge level, it's at about maybe 80% or so. Now you can see what I'm up to is I'm actually kind of seeing, how the charge level is going to hold, keeping it around 100%. In order to fire off the second surge, I am going to have to drop the charge level. And so I start tweaking the laser intensity down a little bit, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of monkeying around a little bit with the laser intensity, trying to bring it down. I don't want it to go down that fast. And I'm kind of checking the decay of the charge level for the size of the rock. Fortunately, this isn't a 7,500 or an 8,000, so it seems to be actually holding pretty steady, which bodes well for the rest of the process. So what I'm trying to do is bring the charge level down to a spot where I can fire off the second surge and put it right into the top of the green optimal. But as you're going to see here, when I fire my second surge, I actually wind up into the overcharge a little bit, into the red area, and that's definitely not what we're looking for. So yeah, you can see I fired off the second surge, and I am into the overcharge, and here's where I think this is a good instructional video. You can see I just back away. I certainly don't want the rock to explode and cause damage to my ship. And so, when it got a little bit into a rough spot there, I decided to back away and live another day. And really, that's my recommendation to you as well. And so as I kind of close the gap here and get back on the rock, your hope is that there's a little bit of charge level left in there, but unfortunately there's not. So, we have to just kind of tweak the laser intensity, take her back up to the top again, and start the process again. So I'm going to fire my third surge, but the first surge for this cycle, if you will, shortly to build the charge level back up again. And we're going to go ahead and repeat the process. So you can see right there, I popped the surge. Right now we're at about 85%. You can see we're pretty close. So I'm going to have to bring the charge level down a little further than I did the last time in order to reapply the surge and have the charge level reach into the optimal zone. You're always obviously trying to get to the top of the optimal zone, or even slightly into the overcharge and letting it fall back. And certainly a larger rock, you're not going to be able to hold. The charge level is going to decay much faster. But in this particular case, I'm just kind of rolling back the laser intensity. I'm letting the charge level fall, and I'm trying to gauge the perfect moment to fire off the next surge in order to put it into the optimal. Now I do a fairly decent job of getting it into the optimal, but a little too low. And so I'm kind of playing with it here, wondering how it's going to go, because I'm right on the edge. The good news is I get a little lucky here. And, as I've tweaked, as I've kind of broken that Rubicon, if you will, broke into the optimal, it's a little easier to hold it in that area. And so that's what it's, I kind of am hanging around, and fortunately it does eventually jump up here into the optimal, and it begins, getting through there okay. And this is when the next consumable comes into play. And the next consumable that comes into play is going to be the Stampede. You're going to want to fire the Stampede and have that push through the green as quick as possible. So you'll see me do that here. I'm actually a little late on the draw with the Stampede, but a little sooner I could have fired the Stampede. The rock gets broke. So once again, you surge, You let the laser, the charge level decay, you surge again. The whole goal is to put it into that green area, and then you're going to use the Stampede to rush through the green area as quick as possible. So that's my tip for the night. Thank you all for your time, and I will see you all around the verse.